Beamy, Dorian, quiet IT guy who spends more time staring at monitors than talking to humans. Working at some corporate office where everyone pretends to be busy, but mostly browses social media. One day, they transfer this new girl from another branch. Her name is Celine Marlowe. She looks completely lost, like a deer in headlights. First week, she keeps asking basic questions about everything. Where's the bathroom? How does the coffee machine work? What's the Wi-Fi password? Most people already writing her off as temporary can tell she knows it too from the way she sits at her desk. Week 2 rolls around. She comes up to me with this helpless expression, says she can't figure out how to log into the corporate system. I show her the steps, write them down on a sticky note. She thanks me like I just saved her life or something. Next day, she's back asking about email formatting, then about how to write a professional message to her supervisor. Each time she sits next to me, takes notes like she's in college again. Actually, kind of refreshing compared to everyone else who thinks they know everything. Month passes. This becomes our routine somehow. She brings me coffee sometimes as a thank you. Other people start noticing. One colleague makes some sarcastic comment about me having a personal assistant now. Another guy jokes that she can't function without me. She overhears this last one and gets visibly upset. Later that day, she approaches my desk looking embarrassed, asks if she really seems that incompetent to everyone. This is the first time we talk about something that isn't work-related. Tell her that people always talk, especially about new hires. Mention that she needs to build her own confidence instead of worrying what others think. She nods thoughtfully, says she never thought about it that way. From that point, something shifts. She still asks for help, but starts trying things on her own first. Begins speaking up in meetings instead of just taking notes silently. I notice she's using some of my phrases when talking to clients. Makes me realize I might actually be influencing how she handles things. 2 months in, management decides to restructure. They move Celine to the technical support team. Guess who she ends up sitting next to? Now we're practically desk neighbors. The workload hits different in this department. Constant deadlines, system crashes, angry customers calling at all hours. She adapts faster than I expected, though. No more hesitant questions. She jumps right into solving problems. One particularly brutal evening in what I think was late October, we're both stuck working on this massive client issue. Database corruption, data recovery, the whole nightmare scenario. Clock hits midnight and we're still troubleshooting. Finally fix it around 2 a.m. Walk outside and realize we missed the last train. End up walking halfway across the city together. She doesn't complain once during the entire trek. That's when I knew she wasn't going anywhere. Winter months become a blur of late nights and shared takeout. We develop this system where one of us orders food when we're staying late. Usually ends up being both of us working past normal hours. She starts making jokes that sound exactly like something I would say. Other people definitely notice. Someone calls us the server and the terminal because we always work together. Another colleague mentions we're like a 2-person IT department. Management seems happy with our output, though. Around February or March, can't remember exactly when, she makes her first major mistake. Accidentally deletes a crucial client file during a routine maintenance. Complete panic mode. She's nearly crying at her desk, thinking she's about to get fired. I spend the entire night helping her restore everything from backups. We managed to recover 99% of the data and send a detailed report to the client. She keeps thanking me over and over. Says I basically saved her career. Realize this moment changed something between us. Spring arrives and the dynamic shifts again. She starts calling me her moral antivirus as a joke. Tells me her friend keeps suggesting she should date someone more exciting. But she laughs when she mentions this, like the idea is ridiculous. At the company party, everyone assumes we're together. We're not, but we don't really correct anyone either. Our supervisor makes some comment about how if one of us leaves, the other won't last long. He's probably right, but I don't want to think about it. Summer hits and we start working from my apartment sometimes. It's closer to the office and has better internet than her place. First time was awkward, ordering pizza and trying to focus on code, but it becomes natural pretty quickly. We get more done without office distractions. Plus, we can actually talk without everyone listening in. She brings her laptop over maybe twice a week. Colleagues start making wedding jokes. Neither of us acknowledges these comments directly. The projects get more complex as we become the go-to problem solvers. Management gives us the difficult clients because we work well together. She handles the customer communication while I fix the technical issues. It's like we developed our own professional language. She knows exactly what I mean when I explain something in technical terms. I can tell from her tone when a client is about to become difficult. This synchronization didn't happen overnight, but it feels natural now. One particularly stressful week, probably in August. We're dealing with 3 major system failures simultaneously. Working from my place because the office AC is broken. She falls asleep on my couch around 3 a.m. while I'm still coding. I cover her with a blanket and keep working. She wakes up around 6, apologizes, but I tell her it's fine. We grab breakfast and head to the office like nothing happened. But something definitely shifted that night. Fall comes around again, marking almost a full year since she started. The new hires look at us the same way people used to look at her. She's become the person others go to for advice. Watching her explain things to confused newcomers reminds me of our early days, except now she sounds confident and knowledgeable. She's using the same patient tone I used with her. It's like watching someone grow into themselves. Halloween office party happens sometime in late October. Everyone's in costumes, including us. She went as some character from a show I don't watch. I just wore a generic vampire cape because I'm not creative. People keep asking if we coordinated our costumes. We didn't, but everyone seems convinced we did. The questions about our relationship status become more direct. We still deflect them, but it's getting harder to explain. Winter returns with another round of impossible deadlines. This time we're prepared, though. Our teamwork has reached this almost telepathic level. She can tell when I'm about to get frustrated with a problem. I know when she needs a coffee break from difficult clients. We've developed inside jokes that make no sense to anyone else. The new people definitely think we're dating. Even some of the longtime employees assume we are. Somewhere around Christmas time, we're working late again. Surprise, surprise. She mentions that her lease is up soon and she's thinking about moving. Asks if I know any good neighborhoods. I suggest the area near my place because the commute is easier. A few weeks later, she finds an apartment about 10 minutes from mine. This makes our after-work collaboration even more convenient. Now we can just walk to whichever place is more comfortable. New Year comes and goes. We spend New Year's Eve debugging a critical system failure. Not exactly romantic, but we order good food and make the best of it. She jokes that this is probably the least exciting New Year's ever. I disagree because we actually accomplished something important. The client sends a thank you email the next day praising our quick response. Our supervisor forwards it to the entire team with compliments. This becomes a pattern of recognition for our collaborative work. Valentine's Day approaches, and the office atmosphere gets weird. People keep making pointed comments about our relationship status. One colleague directly asks when we're going to make it official. Celine handles it better than I do, just laughs and changes the subject. But I can tell the constant questions are wearing on both of us. We never actually discuss what we are, which probably confuses everyone. Spring cleaning at the office reveals how much our work habits have merged. Our desk areas have basically become one extended workspace. She has cables and equipment on my side. I have notebooks and client files on hers. The cleaning staff just treats it as one unit now. Management formally recognizes us as a team for performance reviews. Our efficiency ratings are consistently the highest in the department. Around March or April, timing gets fuzzy in memory. Major client emergency happens during a weekend. System crash affects their entire operation. We meet at my place to work on it because the office is locked. Spend the entire weekend rebuilding their database from scratch. Order way too much food and barely sleep. By Sunday night, we've fixed everything and written a comprehensive report. Client is so grateful they send a bonus payment to our company. Management splits it between us as a recognition bonus. This success leads to us being assigned as the primary team for VIP clients. Higher pressure, but also more interesting challenges. Our communication becomes even more streamlined. She can anticipate what information I'll need from clients. I can predict which solutions will work best for her explanations. It's like we've developed our own professional telepathy. Other teams start asking how we coordinate so effectively. Late spring brings another apartment situation. Her building announces major renovations that will take months. Temporary displacement required for all tenants. She's stressed about finding short-term housing. I mentioned that my place has a spare room she could use temporarily, just until the renovations finish, purely practical arrangement. She thinks about it for a few days, then accepts. Colleagues definitely notice when we start arriving together every morning. Living situation becomes surprisingly comfortable. We maintain separate spaces and schedules mostly. But working late is easier when we're already in the same place. Morning commutes become shared coffee runs. Evening work sessions flow naturally into dinner planning. Neither of us addresses how domestic this arrangement feels. We just adapt to the new routine without making it complicated. Summer arrives with our biggest project yet. Complete system overhaul for a major client. Timeline is aggressive and stakes are high. We essentially live at the office for 2 weeks straight. Sleeping on the couch in the break room some nights. She handles all client communications while I rebuild their entire database. The teamwork reaches levels I didn't think were possible. We finish ahead of schedule and under budget. Client presentation goes perfectly. They're so impressed they want to extend the contract. Also recommend us to 3 other companies. Our supervisor calls it the best project outcome he's seen. Company gives us both significant raises and promotion opportunities. Success feels even better when shared with someone who understands the work. Celebration dinner turns into planning our next big challenge. August brings clarity about our living arrangement. Her building renovations finish, but she doesn't immediately move back. We don't discuss this directly for a few weeks. The spare room has become her permanent workspace. Most of her belongings have migrated over gradually. One evening, she just mentions that she's not renewing her lease. I agree this makes sense practically and financially. Fall season brings new challenges and opportunities. Management offers us leadership roles on separate teams. This would mean working apart for the first time in over a year. Both of us hesitate about the opportunity, not because we don't want advancement, but because our collaborative approach has become so integral to our success. We negotiate to lead a joint team instead. Company agrees because our results speak for themselves. Halloween comes around again, marking 2 full years since she started. This time our costumes do coordinate, though not intentionally. We both choose characters from the same science fiction movie. Everyone assumes this was planned. We don't bother correcting them anymore. The relationship speculation has become background noise. We focus on our work and let people think whatever they want. Winter project season arrives with familiar intensity. But now, we're training other teams in our collaboration methods, teaching new hires how to balance technical and customer service aspects. She's become an excellent mentor to struggling employees. I handle the complex technical training. Watching her confidence with new people reminds me of how much she's changed. The nervous new employee from 2 years ago has completely disappeared. Christmas party becomes a milestone moment. Company announces major expansion plans for next year. Our team is selected to lead the technical implementation. This means more responsibility, better titles, significant salary increases. During the celebration, she mentions how different everything is from her first party. 2 years ago, she barely knew anyone and felt like an outsider. Now she's giving speeches and leading toast announcements. New Year's Eve, we're working again, but by choice this time, planning the expansion project launch for January. She suggests we should probably make our living arrangement official, not just for practical reasons, but because it's clearly permanent. I agree this makes sense given our partnership in everything else. We decide to look for a place that's actually designed for 2 people. This conversation happens while debugging code, naturally. Valentine's Day brings the inevitable office comments, but this time we just acknowledge what everyone already assumes. When someone asks about our relationship status, she says we're partners, both professionally and personally, though the line blurred gradually. I appreciate that she explains it honestly, without making it complicated. People seem satisfied with this straightforward answer. House hunting becomes our new shared project, looking for a place with good workspace setup and reasonable commute. She handles the research and scheduling. I focus on technical requirements like internet speed and electrical capacity. The process feels natural, like another work collaboration. Find a perfect place within a month and make an offer together. Spring brings moving preparations and project launches simultaneously. Our teamwork extends seamlessly into domestic logistics. She coordinates the move while I handle the technical setup. New office responsibilities blend with new living space organization. Everything feels like a natural progression rather than dramatic change. Colleagues help with the move, treating it as a team-building activity. First month in the new place establishes our routine. Separate offices for focused work, shared space for collaboration. Morning coffee ritual before heading to the actual office. Evening project planning over dinner. Weekends alternate between work catch-up and house organization. The setup maximizes both our professional productivity and personal comfort. 6 months into the new arrangement brings unexpected challenges. Major client crisis requires extended travel and on-site work. First time we've had to coordinate schedules from different locations. Video calls and remote collaboration test our partnership differently, but the foundation we built holds strong. Distance makes our teamwork more intentional, but not less effective. Travel project succeeds beyond expectations. Client offers us permanent consulting arrangement. This would mean regular travel and higher income, but also more time apart and scheduling complexity. We spend weeks evaluating the opportunity together. Decision involves both career advancement and relationship considerations. Choose to accept but negotiate for paired assignments when possible. Fall brings reflection on 3 years of partnership. Professional growth has exceeded both our original expectations. Personal relationship evolved naturally without forcing definitions. She mentions that her friend's dating advice seems silly now. Why look for someone exciting when partnership provides stability and growth? I realize that excitement comes from shared accomplishments and challenges, not from uncertainty or drama like some people seem to prefer. Winter project season includes training our replacements. Promotion means we'll be less hands-on with daily technical issues, more strategy and leadership, less direct problem solving. She handles the customer service training brilliantly. I focus on technical knowledge transfer. New team members seem capable but lack our intuitive coordination. This will develop over time with experience and trust. Christmas brings unexpected recognition. Company newsletter features our partnership as a success story. How 2 people with different strengths created exceptional results. Article mentions our transition from mentor-student to equal partners. then to leadership team without losing collaborative effectiveness. Reading it makes our growth seem more significant than daily experience suggested. Sometimes external perspective reveals what you can't see from inside. New Year planning session covers both professional and personal goals. Career advancement opportunities align with our strengths. Housing situation provides stability for future planning. Neither of us mentions dramatic changes or uncertainties. Goals focus on building from current foundation rather than starting over. This approach has worked well for 3 years of steady progress. Valentine's Day conversation turns to long-term planning. She brings up marriage as a practical consideration, tax benefits, insurance coverage, legal protections for shared assets. I appreciate her straightforward approach to the topic. No pressure or emotional manipulation, just logical evaluation. We decide to research the practical implications before making decisions. Typical of our partnership to analyze before acting. Spring research phase covers legal and financial aspects thoroughly. Marriage provides significant advantages for our situation. Shared business interests, property ownership, medical decisions. The emotional component exists, but doesn't drive the decision. We're already committed to this partnership in every meaningful way. Legal recognition just makes it official and protected. Planning begins with characteristic attention to detail. Wedding preparations reflect our collaborative approach. She handles logistics and communication. I manage technical requirements and budget tracking. Small ceremony with close colleagues and family members. Focus on celebration rather than elaborate production. Reception becomes impromptu team-building event. Everyone who helped us reach this point participates in the milestone. Honeymoon combines travel with consulting project. Work in beautiful location instead of traditional vacation. Client meetings in the morning, exploration in the afternoon. Perfect balance of professional development and personal enjoyment. This approach suits us better than forced relaxation. Partnership strengthens through shared experiences and challenges. Return home with successful project completion and renewed energy. First year of marriage brings deeper integration. Professional reputation grows through continued successful projects. Personal relationship provides stable foundation for career risks. She suggests we start our own consulting firm. I analyze the market opportunities and financial requirements. Decision involves both our futures, but feels natural to consider together. Planning phase begins with familiar, collaborative methodology. Business planning reveals how much our skills have expanded. Her customer relations expertise now includes sales and marketing. My technical knowledge covers strategic planning and system architecture. Combined capabilities create comprehensive service offering. Market research indicates strong demand for our integrated approach. Former clients express interest in continued partnership. Foundation exists for successful independent business. Final transition from employees to business owners. Company supports our decision and offers consulting contract, maintains relationship while providing independence. Office space setup mirrors our home arrangement. Professional workspace with collaborative areas. She handles client development while I focus on service delivery. Partnership model scales effectively to business ownership. Beamy guy who just wanted to help new coworker with basic questions. 3 years later, married to her and still giving advice, but now it's about business strategy, mortgage applications, and office furniture choices. Sometimes I remember that first day when she couldn't log into the system. Amazing how helping someone with small problems can lead to sharing everything, from IT support tickets to life partnership. Best consulting relationship I ever developed.